While everyone was preparing for celebrations, I was in my home office at our Beverly Hills mansion, reviewing some year-end financial reports. As the CEO of Cybertech Solutions, one of California's fastest-growing cybersecurity companies, I always made sure to keep our finances in perfect order. That's when I noticed something odd. Several substantial transfers had been made to accounts I didn't recognize. At first, I thought it might be a reporting error, but as I dug deeper, my heart started racing. Over $2.3 million had been systematically moved to various offshore accounts. Over the past 6 months, I could hear Natasha, my wife of 3 years, laughing downstairs with her brother Viktor as they decorated for our annual New Year's Eve party. Her distinctive Russian accent echoed through our marble halls, once music to my ears, now, somehow, sinister. Viktor had been staying with us for 2 months, claiming he needed to handle some business ventures in the States. I never questioned it. After all, he was family. My hands trembled as I accessed our joint account. More suspicious transactions, small amounts at first, growing larger over time. How had I missed this? I'm a tech expert, for God's sake. But I knew how. I trusted her completely. Those piercing blue eyes, that flowing blonde hair, the way she looked at me. Natasha had me wrapped around her finger from the day we met. At that charity gala in San Francisco, a notification popped up on my screen. An email from our company's security system. Someone had been accessing sensitive company files using Natasha's home office computer. Files containing client information, project details, and most importantly, our banking protocols. I felt sick to my stomach. "David, darling," Natasha called from downstairs. "The caterers are here. Can you come check the setup?" "Just a minute," I replied, trying to keep my voice steady. I quickly opened our home security app and accessed the cameras in Natasha's office. The footage from the past week showed her and Viktor, heads together, pointing at documents late at night when they thought I was asleep. In one clip, they were kissing passionately, definitely not like siblings. My world was crumbling, but I couldn't let them know I was on to them, not yet. I needed more evidence. The party would start in a few hours, with over 100 guests arriving to celebrate. I had to act normal while my mind raced with questions. Who was Natasha really? Was anything about our marriage real? I pulled out my phone and called the one person I knew could help. Detective Martinez from the LAPD's fraud division. He had helped me with a corporate espionage case last year. "James," I whispered into the phone, "I need your help. How fast can you run a background check on someone?" As I headed downstairs to face my wife and her supposed brother, I felt like I was walking into a den of vipers. The Christmas tree was still up, decorated with ornaments we'd bought together in Russia last year. Everything looked perfect, pristine, just like Natasha's carefully constructed lie. Detective Martinez worked faster than I expected. While greeting early party guests and maintaining a facade of normalcy, my phone buzzed with disturbing information. "David, we need to talk now. It's worse than you think," his message read. I excused myself, claiming a work emergency, and locked myself in my study. "Your wife isn't who she claims to be," Martinez said when I called. "Natasha Petrova doesn't exist, at least not the one you married. The background we have shows she's been involved in at least 3 other similar schemes across Europe. Her real name is Elena Kozlov, and she's part of a sophisticated criminal network." My hands gripped the desk as he continued. "Viktor isn't. Her brother either. He's Mikhail Volkov, her longtime partner in both crime and romance. They've been pulling this con for years. Wealthy businessmen, tech companies, always the same pattern. Marry, gain trust, steal everything, disappear. I watched through my study window as Natasha, or Eleanor, charmed our guests by the pool. She wore that red dress I bought her in Paris, her platinum blonde hair catching the setting sun. How many other men had fallen for that same enchanting smile? Those same stories about her childhood in St. Petersburg? Martinez sent over files, showing their previous cons. Thomas Anderson, a London banker, lost $4 million. Jean-Pierre Dubois, a French software developer, company bankrupted. All their victims shared similar profiles to mine. Successful, tech-oriented, recently single before meeting her. There's more, Martinez added. We've been tracking their network for months. They're planning something big for tonight. New Year's isn't a random choice. Most financial systems do their major updates then. It's the perfect time to execute large transfers without immediate detection. I pulled up our company's security protocols on my laptop. There it was, a scheduled system update at midnight. They were going to use the update window to transfer everything they could. The realization hit me they had been planning this from the very beginning. Every dinner date, every passionate night, every loving word, all calculated steps in their scheme. Through my study door, I could hear Viktor's booming laugh as he regaled my friends with stories. The same friends who, as I discovered from Martinez, had noticed strange things but stayed quiet. Sarah from the board had seen Natasha and Viktor in an intimate embrace at the marina, but assumed she was mistaken. Michael, my CFO, had questioned some of the transfer requests but didn't want to overstep. "What's the play here, Martinez?" I asked, watching the security footage of Natasha entering my home office earlier that day. "We can't arrest them without proof of an actual crime, and by then it might be too late." "Keep playing along," he advised. "We have agents monitoring all possible exit routes and financial channels, but be careful. These people are dangerous when cornered. They've left victims with nothing but destroyed lives and empty bank accounts." As I ended the call, a soft knock on my study door made me jump. "Darling?" Natasha's voice purred through the wood. "Everyone's asking for you, and Viktor wants to show you something in your office." I took a deep breath, straightened my tie, and prepared to face the woman I loved and the woman who never existed. Following Viktor to my office, every step felt like walking through quicksand. The party's music thumped below as guests continued arriving, unaware of the drama about to unfold. I noticed Natasha trailing behind us, her Louboutin heels clicking. On the marble floor, a sound that used to make my heart race, now making it sink. "David, my friend," Viktor said, closing the office door behind us, "we have an amazing investment opportunity to discuss before midnight." His accent seemed thicker than usual, more forced. Now that I knew the truth, every detail of their performance became glaringly obvious. As Viktor pulled up some documents on my computer, I caught Natasha's reflection in the window. She was typing something on her phone, probably alerting their accomplices. The city lights of Beverly Hills twinkled below, reminding me of our first date when I thought I'd found my soulmate. "You know," I interrupted Viktor's rehearsed pitch, "it's funny how some people think they can fool a cybersecurity expert." The room fell silent. Natasha's phone slipped slightly in her hand. "Tell me, Eleanor, or should I still call you Natasha, how many others were there before me?" The transformation in her face was instant. The loving wife vanished, replaced by something cold and calculating. "David, darling, what are you talking about?" But her eyes darted to Viktor, who had already stepped between us. "I know everything," I continued, pulling out my phone. "Thomas Anderson, Jean-Pierre Dubois, ring any bells? Or were they just more disposable husbands in your little scheme?" I played the security footage of their kiss in Natasha's office. "Siblings, huh?" The party music suddenly seemed distant as tension filled the room. Viktor, or Mikhail, moved toward the door, but I pressed a button on my phone. The doors are locked. Buildings in security lockdown. Did you really think I wouldn't have protocols for this? You don't understand what you're doing, Natasha hissed, her fake accent completely gone. We have people everywhere. Your company, your banks. Martinez, I called out loudly. The hidden door to my private conference room opened, revealing Detective Martinez and 2 FBI agents. The look of shock on their faces was almost worth the 3 years of lies. Chaos erupted. Viktor lunged for my computer, but Martinez was faster. Natasha made a dash for the window, pulling something from her purse. The FBI agents intercepted her, revealing a USB drive that probably contained God knows what viruses meant for our system. The commotion drew attention from downstairs. Guests began gathering in the hallway, watching through the glass walls as my perfect marriage imploded spectacularly. I could see Sarah from the board, covering her mouth in shock. Michael, my CFO, was already on his phone, probably initiating.
Our emergency protocols. Your friends knew, Natasha spat as handcuffs clicked around her wrists. They saw the signs but said nothing. You were all so easy to fool. The lonely tech genius, so desperate for love. Her words stung, but I maintained
my composure. Maybe, but this lonely tech genius just caught the infamous Kozlov-Volkov duo. How's that for desperate? As they were led away, I noticed Natasha's phone on the floor. The last message sent read, "Plan compromised. Execute Protocol B." My blood
ran cold. This wasn't over, and it was just the beginning of a much bigger nightmare.
The party dissolved into chaos as police vehicles surrounded my mansion. While guests were being questioned and sent home, Martinez and I huddled in my study, unraveling the full extent of Natasha's deception. Each revelation felt like a fresh
stab to my heart. Your marriage certificate, Martinez said, sliding a file across my desk. It's expertly forged. The Russian documents, her university degrees, even her birth certificate, all fake. They've been planning this for years before.
They even met you. He pulled up more files on his laptop. Elena Kozlov and Mikhail Volkov have been partners for over a decade. They met in Moscow's criminal underground. The security team was combing through Natasha's office when they found a hidden compartment in her desk. Inside were multiple passports, USB drives, and a detailed dossier on me dating back to 2020. They had photos of me at conferences, my daily routines, even psychological assessments. They studied you, Martinez explained. Knew exactly how to make her your perfect woman. My phone buzzed continuously with notifications from the bank. Despite our intervention, several automated transfers had gone through. They had a backup plan, I muttered, watching millions disappear into cryptocurrency wallets. Protocol B,
what they mentioned earlier. A young FBI agent burst into the study. Sir, you need to see this. She pulled up footage from our home security system.
It showed Natasha making late-night calls from our pool house, speaking in perfect American English, no trace of her Russian accent. In one clip, she was laughing about how I'd bought her another expensive gift. Poor lovesick fool, she had, said. There's more, Martinez added grimly. Remember that charity gala where you met? It wasn't coincidence. They had compromised your calendar through a hack at your doctor's office. Every chance meeting was orchestrated. Even that cute moment where she spilled wine on your shirt, all planned. I thought about our wedding day in Santorini. How beautiful. She looked in her white dress, tears in those blue eyes as she promised to love me forever. Now I wondered if those tears were from laughter at my naivety. The FBI team discovered a network of accomplices, the housekeeping staff who copied documents, the gardener who monitored my movements, even my personal trainer who reported my schedule. They had surrounded me with their people, creating a perfect surveillance web. What about Viktor's business meetings? I asked, remembering all the times he'd met with my industry contacts. Martinez pulled up another file. Industrial espionage. He was selling your company's security protocols to competitors. Those meetings? He was setting up back doors into various tech companies' systems. Tonight's heist wasn't just about your money, it was about accessing multiple companies during their New Year systems updates. Looking at our wedding photo on my desk, I noticed something I'd missed before. In the background, barely visible, was Viktor, watching us with a smirk. They'd been laughing at me from
the very beginning.
"David," Martinez said softly, "there's one more thing you should know." He hesitated, then continued. "Natasha, Elena, she's still legally married to 2 other men in Europe. The marriages were part of similar schemes. You're not just a victim of fraud. You were never legally married at all." As midnight approached, I sat in my empty house, surrounded by half-empty champagne glasses and abandoned party favors, realizing that my life for the past 3 years had been nothing but an elaborate performance in a con artist's masterpiece. The next few hours became a frantic race against time. While Natasha and Viktor sat in custody, their network was actively executing Protocol B. Martinez's team discovered they had accomplices in 5 different countries, all poised to transfer and launder my assets through a complex web of cryptocurrency exchanges. They're moving the money through a series of automated transactions, my head of cybersecurity explained, his fingers flying over the keyboard. Each transfer triggers another in a different jurisdiction. It's like a digital shell game. We watched helplessly as millions bounced between accounts, becoming harder to trace with each hop. Then came the real shock. Natasha had managed to slip something to her lawyer, a small note with a code. Before we could intercept it, their backup plan kicked into high gear. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the building. Our entire company network was under attack. "It's a sophisticated virus," my tech team reported. "It's not just stealing data, it's threatening to expose our clients' security vulnerabilities to their competitors." The implications were staggering. If successful, it would destroy not just my wealth, but the trust of every major tech company that relied on our cybersecurity services. Martinez received word that similar attacks were hitting other tech firms across Silicon Valley. "This was never just about you," he realized. "You were patient zero in a larger scheme to destabilize America's tech sector." I remembered all those charity events Natasha had insisted we attend, the tech conferences where Viktor networked. They weren't just building their cover, they were mapping out their targets. My company was meant to be their gateway into the entire industry. A breakthrough came at 3 a.m. when one of Natasha's accomplices cracked under interrogation. He revealed a crucial detail. All their operations were being coordinated through a secure server in Dubai. We had a chance to stop the transfers, but we needed physical access to that server. "I'm going," I declared, already booking a private jet. Martinez objected, but I stood firm. "This is my company, my life they're trying to destroy. I'm not sitting this out." Within an hour, we were airborne, racing against time zones and automated banking protocols. During the flight, we discovered something chilling in Natasha's personal files. She had a fail-safe plan. If caught, she would release details of supposed security flaws in my company's systems. True or not, the mere suggestion would tank our stock and destroy client confidence. She was willing to burn everything down
rather than lose. 6 hours until the markets open in New York, Martinez warned. If we don't stop this by then, the damage will be irreversible.
Our jet cut through the night sky, carrying a team of FBI cyber experts and my best engineers. I stared at my wedding ring, still on my finger. 3 years of lies condensed into a simple gold band. Natasha had played her role perfectly, the loving wife, the supportive partner. Now I understood why she always encouraged me to expand the company, to take on more high-profile clients. She wasn't building our future, she was setting up her endgame. As Dubai's skyline appeared on the horizon, my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. It was a photo of Natasha taken just hours ago in custody. She was smiling directly at the camera, her expression confident and challenging. Below it, a simple text. "Catch me if you can, darling. The game wasn't over. It was just entering its final round." The Dubai operation was a blur of tense moments and split-second decisions. We located the server facility, disguised as a legitimate data center, with just 2 hours before the markets opened. My team worked frantically to counter their algorithms, while FBI cyber units coordinated with international authorities. In the end, it wasn't sophisticated technology that gave us our breakthrough, it was human error. One of Natasha's accomplices had kept a personal backup, hoping to double-cross her later. That single act of greed provided us with the encryption keys we needed. We managed to halt the automated transfers and prevent the release of the fake security flaws. Back in Los Angeles, I faced the daunting task of rebuilding my life and company. The press had a field day with the story. Tech CEO's Russian bride, revealed as international con artist. I had to hold emergency meetings with clients, investors, and board members, explaining how we'd been targeted and, more importantly, how we'd stopped it. During Natasha's trial, I learned the full scope
of her deception.
She'd run similar operations across 3 continents, leaving a trail of destroyed lives and empty bank accounts. But this time, her ambition had been her downfall. By targeting the entire tech sector, she'd drawn the attention of too many powerful entities. "You want to know the funny thing?" she said during her testimony, those blue eyes still captivating even in prison orange. "I actually started to like you. You were different from the others. But business is business." Her words meant to hurt, but they only confirmed what I already knew. Everything had been a calculation. The courts were merciless. Both Natasha and Viktor received maximum sentences for fraud, espionage, and cybercrime. Their network was dismantled, leading to arrests across multiple countries. I managed to recover most of my assets, though some remained lost in the cryptocurrency void. 1 year later, I stood in my rebuilt home office, looking out over Beverly Hills. The experience had changed me, but not broken me. My company emerged, stronger, with new security protocols based on what we'd learned from the attack. Clients trusted us more, knowing we'd faced the worst and prevailed. Martinez became a close friend, helping me vet potential business partners and employees. "You know," he said during a recent visit, "some people would be destroyed by what you went through, but you turned it into a strength." He was right. I'd transformed my personal nightmare into a case study on cybersecurity and fraud prevention. I now give talks at security conferences, warning others about sophisticated modern cons. The wedding ring sits in my desk drawer, a reminder to trust but verify. Last week, I received a letter from Natasha's prison. Inside was a simple note. "You were my biggest mistake and my best teacher." I didn't respond. Some chapters are better left closed. Today, as I lead my company into new territories and technologies, I carry the lessons of that New Year's Eve with me. Love can be faked, trust can be manipulated, but resilience, true resilience, comes from facing deception and emerging wiser. The experience taught me that sometimes losing everything can lead to building something better. My story became a warning to others but also a testament to recovery and renewal. In the end, Natasha's greatest con failed because she underestimated one simple truth. Real strength comes not from deceiving others, but from facing the truth about ourselves.